You ever notice nobody laughs anymore unless someone's getting destroyed? That's the age we're in. Outrage is the new religion, and everybody's a preacher. There's no Sunday service, no hymns, no prayers, just scrolling, judging, and posting. Instead of a church, we've got comment sections. Instead of confession, we've got cancellations. People wake up every day not to live their lives, but to find something to be offended by. It's the new caffeine, keeps them wired, alert, and absolutely miserable. We used to get mad at things that mattered. Wars, corruption, lies. Now it's logos, pronouns, and cereal mascots. People get offended by words they didn't even hear firsthand. They read a headline and go, I'm furious. About what? I don't know yet, but I'll find out later. Outrage first, facts later. That's the motto of modern civilization. You ever notice everyone's brave now, digitally? People used to fear public speaking. Now they'll publicly condemn a stranger without blinking. The internet gave everyone a megaphone and took away their filter. We've turned opinions into landmines and turned thinking into a liability. Nobody wants to listen. They want to announce. Everyone's offended and everyone's right, which is a hell of a combination for a species that still can't figure out its thermostat settings. We used to get information and think about it. Now we get headlines and react. Everything's emotional theater. Somebody posts something stupid and the mob shows up like it's medieval justice. Burn the witch, except now the witch is a 22-year-old who forgot context in a tweet from 2014. Forgiveness isn't profitable anymore, so it's gone extinct. The new commandment is, thou shalt never make a mistake that someone can screenshot. And the best part is everyone thinks their outrage is pure. Everyone thinks they're the hero, but here's the joke. Nobody's mad because they care. They're mad because it makes them feel important. Outrage is the cheapest form of self-worth. It's emotional fast food, quick, addictive, and completely empty. People don't fight for justice, they fight for engagement, like shares validation. If a cause doesn't trend, it doesn't exist. We're living in an age where anger is the main export. You can get offended about anything now. If you don't find something, they'll suggest one for you. Here are 3 new things to hate today. It's like Netflix for rage. You scroll, pick a target, and hit play. Don't even need facts, just vibes. And when people get offended, they act like they're victims of a global conspiracy. Someone said something they didn't like, and suddenly it's oppression. I feel unsafe. Uncomfortable and unsafe are not the same thing, but don't tell them that. They'll report you for gaslighting. People used to build character, now they collect grievances. There's no resilience left, just reaction. It's funny, though, everyone's offended, but no one's improving. Nobody's getting wiser, kinder, or deeper. They just get louder. It's like yelling is the new enlightenment. The louder you are, the more right you think you are. Doesn't matter if you're full of nonsense. If you shout it with enough passion, someone will retweet it. That's how the new scripture spreads through outrage virality. The old religions had gods that forgave. The new one doesn't. It's a one-strike system. You mess up once, you're done. Doesn't matter what you did, who you are, or if you change, it's eternal damnation via trending topic, and people love it. They love watching others burn. It's the only ritual we all agree on. Public shaming, it's the last communal experience we've got. Nobody sings together anymore, but we'll all chant, "Chancel him," in perfect unison. We've replaced morality with emotion. Doesn't matter if something's true, just if it feels right. If a story fits the outrage template, it spreads. Facts are boring, fury sells. You ever see people argue online? They don't even read what they're fighting about. They just wait for their turn to post another angry paragraph. It's not conversation, it's shadow boxing with egos. And then they talk about raising awareness. Raising awareness. We're drowning in awareness. Everyone knows everything all the time. You can't raise awareness anymore. It's already inflated like a balloon about to pop. What we need is understanding. But that's harder. Understanding requires listening, and listening doesn't trend. You can't monetize empathy. People love being offended because it makes them feel moral without doing anything moral. It's activism without effort. You can change your profile picture and boom, you're a hero. No risk, no sacrifice, just emotional signaling. It's a participation trophy for outrage. We gamified morality. Congratulations, you've unlocked level 5 sensitivity. And people love to call it speaking truth to power, power. Half the time they're yelling at a comedian, a book, or a sandwich company. That's not power, that's performance. People don't go after real problems because real problems fight back. So they go after the easy ones, the symbolic ones, the ones that'll get retweets and sympathy. It's morality cosplay. The whole system feeds itself. Outrage drives clicks. Clicks drive money. Money fuels more outrage. It's an economy of anger. Everyone's selling a feeling, fear, fury, righteousness. And the buyers can't get enough. Outrage makes people feel alive. That's the secret. People are numb from distraction, empty from overconsumption, and anger is the only thing that cuts through the fog. Doesn't matter what the issue is. Just give them something to hate. Hate's the cheapest high there is, and we call that progress. We call it being woke. Woke, that's another funny one. Used to mean awareness. Now it means constant offense. Being woke used to mean you saw injustice. Now it means you manufacture it. People don't sleep anymore. They just wait for their next outrage assignment. It's exhausting to watch. Nobody's rested. Nobody's content. Everyone's on edge. We're all living in a global argument where nobody remembers what started it. You ever meet someone who says, I'm offended? Like it's a badge of honor. They say it with pride. I'm offended. Well, congratulations. What do you want, a medal? People act like being offended makes them virtuous. It doesn't. It just means you have a fragile ego and we-fi. And the irony, the people who talk the most about inclusivity are usually the ones drawing the tightest circles. Everyone's welcome until you disagree. Then suddenly you're the devil. There's no room for nuance, no space for complexity. It's all or nothing, us or them, saint or sinner. People don't want truth. They want teams. The funniest part is this new moral movement doesn't actually fix anything. It just moves the furniture around. We replace one forbidden word with another. One taboo with another, one enemy with another. It's a revolving door of outrage. History keeps repeating because we keep canceling the people who might have helped us understand it. We delete the past, congratulate ourselves for being better, and then make the same mistakes with better lighting. And people justify it with, well, words matter. Sure, they do. But context matters more. Intention matters. Meaning matters. We've lost the ability to distinguish cruelty from comedy, ignorance from irony, disagreement from danger. Everything's personal, everything's trauma, everything's a threat. We've emotionalized language to the point where communication's impossible. And it's not just individuals, it's corporations now too. Companies pretending to care, selling moral virtue as a product. Withstand with, fill in the blank. They'll slap a rainbow, a slogan, or a cause on a soda can if it means you'll buy too. They don't believe in justice, they believe in metrics. They've learned how to monetize empathy and sell it back to us at a markup. It's all theater. Everyone's performing, nobody's improving. We've turned outrage into entertainment, activism into algorithms. The same system that exploits us now gives us causes to distract us from being exploited. People think they're fighting the system while commenting on its ads. That's the ultimate punchline. The rebellion's been sponsored, and deep down, people know it, they feel it. That's why they're so tired. You can't stay angry forever without turning hollow inside. Outrage burns fast. It doesn't build anything. Real change takes patience, humility, compassion, the exact things outrage burns away. We're too busy screaming at each other to remember what we were supposed to fix. It's not that people don't care. It's that caring got industrialized. Everyone's been trained to care loudly, not deeply. We used to look out for our neighbors. Now we look down on them for using the wrong word. Empathy turned into currency, and we spend it carelessly. And when the outrage cycle moves on, so does everyone else. The problem stays, the people stay hurt, but the mob's already chasing its next sermon. People talk about speaking their truth. That's another modern masterpiece. There's no such thing as your truth or my truth. There's just truth. It's not a flavor. But in the new religion, truth is subjective, flexible, customizable. If it feels true, it's true, which means everyone's right, which means nobody is. And in this holy war of feelings, humor became the first casualty. Can't joke about anything anymore without someone filing an emotional lawsuit. Humor used to be how we coped, how we connected, how we confronted the hard stuff. Now it's treated like violence. We used to laugh at ourselves. Now we prosecute anyone who tries. You can't build a healthy society on constant outrage. It's like trying to plant flowers in gasoline. The soil's too toxic. People aren't learning from their anger. They're feeding on it. And the system loves it because angry people are easy to control. They're predictable. Outrage keeps you scrawling, spending, dividing. It's the perfect distraction from improvement. We've confused passion with progress. We think feeling strongly about something is the same as fixing it. It's not. Feeling isn't doing. Hashtagging isn't healing. Canceling isn't correcting. Real progress isn't loud. It's quiet, steady, often uncomfortable. But nobody's listening for that. They're too busy preaching. The real irony. The people most desperate for justice are sabotaging it with noise. You can't build bridges by shouting from opposite ends. You can't teach by humiliating. You can't free people by terrifying them into silence. You can only change hearts through understanding, not outrage. But outrage is easier, it's faster, and in this culture, easy wins every time. So here we are, an entire species of moral pyromaniacs, burning down every structure we don't understand and calling it progress. And when the smoke clears, we'll stand in the ashes, exhausted, self-righteous, and still confused about why nothing's better. You ever notice how everybody talks about change now? Everybody's for progress, they love it, but nobody actually changes. It's all slogans and speeches, not substance. We've turned progress into a fashion statement. You don't do it, you just wear it. Look, I care. I've got the right opinions, the right hashtags, the right tone. Meanwhile, nothing underneath actually moves. It's like painting racing stripes on a parked car. We used to think progress meant something physical, bridges, books, discoveries, cures. Now it's about vibes. People don't want better, they want better branding. We measure morality by marketing. You see it everywhere. People acting like evolution's a lifestyle choice. I'm more evolved than you. Oh, really? You still honk at traffic lights, you still scream into your phone, and you still forget your password every week. You're not evolved, you're just updated. Everyone's obsessed with optics now. Optics! That's a funny word for people who can't see past a headline. Everything's about how it looks, how it sounds, how it feels to others. We've become PR managers for our own lives. You don't live anymore. You announce. You don't grow. You rebrand. People don't ask, am I good? They ask, do I look good doing it? Progress became a performance review for your soul. You ever hear people say, we're more connected than ever? Sure. Connected like a power grid in a storm. Sparks everywhere, but nothing steady. The world's a web of wires and nobody's grounded. We keep plugging into each other without ever making contact. You can message a stranger on the other side of the planet, but you can't talk to the person sitting next to you. That's what we call advancement, distance disguised as connection. And people say we've made progress because we have options. Oh yeah, endless options, a million versions of nothing. You can pick your pronouns, your playlists, your politics, your pizza crust, but try to find purpose. Good luck. We're drowning in choices and starving for meaning. We replace depth with diversity of distraction. Progress without depth means we fix the surface and ignore the structure. The system's on fire, but we're busy redecorating the walls. Look, we changed the logo. Great, the planet's still dying, but at least the corporate font's inclusive. We're patching potholes on a sinking ship and calling it innovation. We built a world of instant answers, and now nobody knows how to think. We Google everything except how to live. People can tell you the temperature on Mars, but not how to handle an argument. Everyone's informed, nobody's wise. We know more facts than ever, but less truth than before. Information exploded, understanding imploded. It's all about the illusion of progress. As long as it looks like we're evolving, we're satisfied. We used to dream about the future. Now we just want faster wee feet. We used to explore space. Now we explore shopping apps. Human curiosity got outsourced to convenience. The big invention of our time isn't flight or medicine. It's the skip ad button. That's our legacy. And the funniest part, we celebrate, we throw award shows for awareness. Look, this person raised consciousness. Consciousness of what? Nothing got solved, but the lighting was beautiful. We have social revolutions sponsored by soda brands. Activism comes with ad breaks. Even protest is now an aesthetic. You can't start a movement anymore unless it looks good in a carousel post. It's progress is theater. Everyone's acting evolved. Nobody's rehearsing growth. You've got corporations preaching sustainability while dumping waste offshore. Politicians tweeting empathy while cashing checks from industries that cause the very problems they're raising awareness about. We've built an entire economy on pretending to improve. We're addicted to the optics of virtue. People talk about doing the work. Oh, that's a good one. Doing the work. I love that phrase. You ask them what work, and suddenly it's vague. You know, the work. The emotional labor, the inner journey, the self-care. Nobody can define it, but everyone's doing it. Because saying you're doing the work sounds deeper than actually doing anything. It's the modern confessional. Forgive me, followers, for I have reflected, and progress got branded too. You can buy it now. You can subscribe to it. Upgrade your mindset for $29.99 a month. Every store's got a cause. Every influencer's got a movement. Every brand's got a moral. It's exhausting. We used to buy things to make life easier. Now we buy them to feel ethical. You can't even eat a sandwich without wondering what stance it represents. We've turned improvement into identity. Nobody wants to grow quietly anymore. It's not enough to evolve. You have to announce your evolution. Post about your boundaries, journal about your healing, live stream your awakening. You can't just change, you have to collect applause for it. Because progress without witnesses doesn't count anymore. And people don't want depth because depth takes time. Time's the enemy now. Everything's got to be instant. Instant news, instant morals, instant reactions. We used to think before we spoke. Now we tweet before we think. Nobody pauses long enough to ask, am I right? They just assume they are and hit send. And when someone disagrees, that's not dialogue. That's war. The more efficient we get, the less reflective we become. Progress without depth is like a gym membership you never use. You feel good paying for it. You tell people about it, but nothing actually changes. We've built a culture of symbolic action, gestures instead of transformation. Lighting a building pink for awareness while cutting funding for research. Posting a quote about empathy right after insulting a stranger online. It's all theater. Moral karaoke. You ever notice people use the word space now for everything? I'm creating a space for healing. I'm holding space for dialogue. We've got spaces everywhere. Nobody's filling them with honesty. We don't talk to each other. We talk around each other, using safe words and buzzwords. Because if you say what you really mean, someone might misinterpret it, and there goes your progress badge. The illusion's powerful because it's comforting. It's easier to pretend we're improving than to face how stuck we really are. We convince ourselves we've evolved because we changed vocabulary. We swapped old labels for new ones and call it enlightenment. But underneath, it's the same fears, the same egos, the same hunger for control. Humanity's wearing a new outfit, but it's the same nervous system underneath. And people mistake business for betterment. Everyone's hustling, grinding, optimizing. I'm working on myself. Oh yeah, how's that going? Well, I'm exhausted and anxious, but I've got a morning routine. That's not growth, that's organized panic. We've industrialized self-improvement. Meditation apps with leaderboards. Productivity coaches teaching burnout prevention by scheduling your rest. We've even monetized peace. It's absurd. We're so obsessed with improving everything that we forgot what we were improving for. Every system's optimized except the human one. We've got smart homes, dumb conversations, infinite data, zero wisdom. Machines are learning faster than we are. We're updating the software of civilization and forgetting to check the wiring of the soul. You ever notice nobody's responsible for anything anymore? Nobody. Every screw up, every disaster, every bad decision, it's always someone else's fault. It wasn't me, it was the algorithm. It wasn't me, it was the system. It wasn't me, it was trauma, astrology, Mercury, the moon. We've got more excuses than solutions, and we hand them out like participation trophies. Nobody stands up and says, yeah, that was on me, because admitting fault is the new sin. Accountability is extinct, replaced by justification with better vocabulary. We live in a world where everybody wants credit, but nobody wants blame. Success is personal, failure is external. I worked hard for this. Sure you did, but when it goes wrong, suddenly it's the universe conspiring against you. People treat accountability like a disease they might catch. Don't get too close. He might hold me responsible. You can feel it everywhere, from the top to the bottom. Companies pollute the planet, then put out commercials about green initiatives. Politicians lie, then release clarifications. Celebrities apologize with lighting design. I take full responsibility, they say, staring into the camera as if the lighting itself will absolve them. They don't even know what they're apologizing for. Their PR team just sent them a script, and the people watching, they eat it up. Look how brave they are, apologizing. Brave. They got caught. You don't get points for getting caught. That's not bravery, that's damage control. Accountability means owning it before you're cornered, not after your stock price drops. But we've raised a generation that thinks consequences are optional. Everyone's a victim, everyone's misunderstood. There's always a reason, always a loophole. I wasn't wrong, I was triggered. I didn't cheat, I was spiritually curious. We've turned excuses into enlightenment. You can justify anything if you use the right buzzwords. And it starts early. Kids don't fail anymore. They explore alternative learning outcomes. Nobody gets held back. They get redirected. We sugarcoat reality until it's unrecognizable. You can't tell a kid they're wrong because it might hurt their self-esteem. Well, maybe their self-esteem needs a workout. You don't build character by avoiding discomfort. You build it by facing it, by taking the hit, learning the lesson, and moving on. Accountability is not punishment, it's progress. But people hear the word and think you're accusing them. Accountability. Are you calling me a bad person? No, I'm saying be an adult. We all screw up. The problem isn't mistakes, it's denial. Nobody wants to carry the weight of their own actions anymore, so they drop it on someone else. And when everybody drops it, society's just a floor full of blame nobody wants to clean up. Social media made it worse. It's the world's biggest stage for finger pointing. Everyone's calling out everyone else, but nobody looks in the mirror. Whole careers built on outrage, moral superiority, endless judgment. I'm exposing hypocrisy. Yeah, while ignoring your own. The internet turned accountability into a weapon, not a value. It's about humiliation, not healing. And then there's the public apology industry. You've seen it, the notes app confessions, the carefully worded statements. I acknowledge the pain my words may have caused, not did. You see the trick. That tiny word removes the human from the equation. It's not I hurt you. It's pain occurred somewhere near me. It's like emotional hit and run. We don't even expect sincerity anymore. We just want the ritual. Say the words, show remorse, keep your brand intact. That's not accountability, that's reputation management. Real accountability is messy, it's uncomfortable, it doesn't fit in a tweet. But nobody wants that because discomfort doesn't trend. We've made it too easy to dodge consequences. You can delete posts, block critics, rewrite history in real time. Nothing sticks. People reinvent themselves weekly. One day they're the villain, next day they're on a journey. The reset button killed accountability. You can't learn if you keep erasing the lesson. And we act like technology's to blame. Social media made me do it. No, it didn't. You chose to post it. You chose to lie. You chose to cut corners, ignore warnings, lash out, stay silent, whatever it was. Technology's the amplifier, not the musician. But we love blaming the tools. My phone's addictive. No, your self-control's retired. It's wild. We invented machines that follow orders better than we do. You tell a computer delete, it deletes. You tell a human admit, they negotiate. We've got accountability outsourced to terms of service. I agree. That's the only responsibility people take anymore, and even that's automatic. You know what's crazy? The more people talk about accountability, the less they practice it. Whole seminars on owning your truth, taught by people who never return phone calls. Influencers preaching authenticity while photoshopping their entire existence. Leaders saying, we must do better right before doing worse. It's all noise. Accountability without consequences, theater. And deep down, we all know it. That's why nobody trusts anyone anymore. We've heard too many fake apologies, too many excuses, too many learning moments. The phrase, I take responsibility, used to mean something. Now it just means, can we move on? People don't want forgiveness, they want closure on demand. The scary part is how contagious irresponsibilities become. One person dodges blame, the next learns it's possible. Before you know it, the whole culture's allergic to consequences. You can't fix a problem if everyone's busy explaining why it's not their problem. The funniest part, we're not even good at our excuses anymore. I was hacked. I was misquoted. I was tired. Nobody buys it, but they keep saying it anyway, because that's the ritual: deny, deflect, disappear, lay low for a week, then come back with a rebrand. New me, personal growth. It's not growth, it's PR camouflage, and institutions are no better. When a company screws up, they form a committee. That's how you know nothing will happen. Committees exist to spread responsibility so thin you can't find it again. It's like crime scene cleanup for accountability. By the time they finish their internal investigation, everyone's been promoted. It's the same with politics. Every scandal has a statement, every lie has an asterisk. Mistakes were made. Made by who? The grammar fairy? That phrase should be in the dictionary under cowardice. Mistakes don't make themselves. People make them. But we speak in passive voice so nobody gets hurt. We don't even use direct language anymore because clarity sounds like guilt. And you can't expect accountability from leaders when nobody demands it. We don't vote for honesty. We vote for comfort. People don't want the truth. They want reassurance. They want someone to tell them everything's fine, even when the ship's sinking. Accountability doesn't sell. Blame does. You can't fundraise on humility.